Well, I was glad to see your signs out. And if I now give you Johnson, I bet.
We're not much in hamper. Inside fence at one time, outside fence. Select the 10 foot. Kitchen, 2,500 square feet all the way across the house. Going horizontally, so if this is the house, it goes horizontally. Kitchen. And then we've noticed all the ground is crashed all over. I said to my wife, I said, then she's got a yeah, it's last week.
There's Pat.
Fix it. So they said, this is not a fancy shit. Get the new top orders now. That's what we got. Yeah, that's, we don't know where you're either. Right now, we've got
Very, very well. No, I don't like film. Yeah, I'd say that's more. No, most of the time. Things have calmed down. So.
Oh no.
I'm retired. I'm going to see
John.
Well, I don't know the way your left
It doesn't matter if I love their coffee.
Oh, is that? Oh, yeah, yeah. It is. Yeah.
You're being
David Dave.
Got him. He has nothing. He has one vote. That's all.
And then his wife.
Hmm? I know. Hello.
I got 6:30.
I know, I even asked him, I said, where's Mr. Cody been lately?
Yeah, everything's working.
6:31, so we're going to go ahead and call this meeting to order.
Short and sweet.
I'm sure more people will trickle on in, but
Hopefully
we
not.
did advertise 6:30, so we'll go ahead and get started. So first of all, thanks a lot for coming out. Some familiar faces, some new ones, so we appreciate the people coming through. The agenda for the meeting, we do have a quorum. We had 125 eligible mail-in ballots, as well as 211 eligible e-ballots, so a total of 336 ballots. It's a great turnout. We only needed 163 for quorum, so we did very well. So introductions. We have Carol Rose. We have Dave Schlau. And then Larry Palmer, unfortunately, isn't here this evening. He's back east doing a family reunion, so we do miss Larry, but this is your current board of directors as of right now. We have Michelle O. Robinson. She's the Vice President of Community Management for Vision Community Management. My name is Matthew Rinkler. I'm your Community Manager. In the back there, we have Jamie Godwin. She is the assistant for the community. We also have Samantha Gladwell and Rui Coronado, who's here to help us this evening. We also have Paige Bolton from Mulcahy Law Firm, which is the legal counsel for Cooper Commons. So, the candidates on the ballot, we have David Grimes, May Lee, Lisa Walker, and Nancy Cruz. And you will notice that Jonathan Russell is no longer on the ballot. This is because Jonathan Russell is no longer a homeowner within Cooper Commons, so he had to be removed. So first off, we've got the minutes from the 2015 annual meeting in that packet that you guys picked up at the beginning. You guys can take a look at that. Let us know if you see any corrections. Last year. Of last year, yeah. It's on page 2. Were there any comments or corrections that were noticed on the minutes from last year? All right, if I can get a motion to approve those from any one of the members of the association. Thank you, sir. All right, can we get a second on that? Motion to move forward with the approval of the minutes? Accepted by all? Say aye.
Aye.
Excellent. All right, for the purpose of this meeting, we have 2 open positions for the board of directors. Board of Directors. Do we have any last-minute nominations from the floor? Okay. So we will now call a final call for the ballots. If anybody has not turned the ballot, we do have ballots back there that are provided for you guys. If not, then we'll be good to go. At this time, I would like to request 2 volunteers from the audience to help with the counting of the ballots. Do I have any volunteers? Thank you very much, you guys. If you head back there with Jamie as well as with Paige, they will help you guys out and over. Excellent, thank you. During this time, we created a PowerPoint presentation just kind of outlining the year of 2015 for you guys. So at the end of December 31st, 2014, you guys were at $234,118.58. You guys rounded out the end of the year in 2015, $455,810.57. Over that course of the year, there was an increase of $221,691.99 in your operating fund account. For your reserves at the end of 2014, you guys were just about at $1 million. Rounding out the year at December 31st, 2015, it did drop down to $804,321.66. You guys did some improvements around the community, which resulted in a decrease of $151,407.71. As you can see throughout the community, there has been improvements. Things are looking pretty good. And that's great. And we keep on doing it. Protocol Landscape's been doing a great job with enhancements for you guys. I'm sure you guys can see that, as well as maintenance and things like that. I did invite Protocol to come tonight. Glenn Winter, the account manager, who, if you guys attend the regular board meetings, I'm sure you're very aware with. He caught the flu from his little girl, so rather than bringing him out here and affecting everybody else, he said, stay home, we got it, we're good to go. So just 2015 expenses for landscaping common areas, there was $270,000 that was around spent. Utilities rounded out to just shy of $47,000. Your insurance for the community was around $8,000. Administrative came out to $52,000. Professional services rounded out to $182,000 around there. And your reserves, there was a contribution of $91,512.45. Now, this says not audited, but the board of directors did approve to have an audit performed of the 2015 expenses and financials, which is being performed by Butler Hanson. In September of last year, Vision Community Management was awarded the management contract. The following month, Protocol Landscape came on board. Within the month of December and January, they performed common area tree trimming of 992 common area trees. You guys have a lot of trees out here. So this upcoming year, the number will decrease a little bit just because there's species of trees that don't need to be trimmed every year. So that number will go down. Since we've come aboard, Protocol Landscape completed a beautification project of all 6 monuments out here at Cooper Commons. This included upgraded irrigation system, new plantings, new monument flower beds with flowers in them, as well as granite replenishment. We apologize that the slide's a little small, but right there I've got a before and after picture. And the monuments are on the Hunt Highway and Amanda. We've got Cooper and Rico on the north and south side. Riggs and Cooper, Emmett Drive and Emmett Drive to Riggs, Amanda and Gilbert. So driving it out of the community, I'm sure you guys have seen the improvement there. I think it looks very great. They've also completed the beautification of Emmett Drive when you come in. Same thing here, we had an upgrade in the irrigation system. We had new plantings installed as well as granite replenishment. CLC painting performed and completed common area wall painting within parcel 5 and 10. Parcel 5 and 10 are the cluster style homes located south of the community and north of the community. CLC painting also performed repairs and painting of the wrought iron throughout the entire community, and they just finished that project not too long ago. Western Vistas came in and performed some touch-up painting of miscellaneous items. Backflow cages, you had your shade structure poles, the basketball, volleyball net poles, community benches, and billiards, trash cans, different items like that. Over in parcel 9, there is a small walkway. Before it was just quarter-minute gravel. We actually came in and put in curbing, a nice little walking path between the 2 parcels. Even that little tiny improvement, I think, really comes a long way. Top Lot Care replaced a damaged slide that was over at the North Rico Park. They also updated it as well. I guess the slide was not compliant with updated standards. I guess now they're not wanting the dome style slides, so this one's open air. We also replaced a rusting park bench over in the Emmett Park area. Got 3 new benches over there for you guys. Now, Protocol Landscape has been awarded a renovation project of the small park area, which is south of Emmett Drive, called the Indian Wells Park, and it's slated to start next month. There, in this area, there's tons and tons of river rock, which we're going to remove and relocate throughout the property. They are going to install 75 linear feet of seating wall and retention wall, and install 1,300 square feet of new sod. This is to spruce up the area, provide community pride, increase appeal, safety, and property values. Once it's completed, it's going to be a total transformation over there, which will be really nice. Upcoming events, we do have a Cooper Commons movie night that will be taking place on Saturday, October 22nd at the Hunt Highway Park. More details to follow. but Protocol Landscape will be there doing some sponsorships. There's a caricature artist that I'm talking with that I met at a industry trade show. He actually did a caricature to me, and it came out great, so I figured why not bring him that the community enjoyed as well. So we'll definitely get communication notified to the homeowners and the rest of the community in regards to that coming up later this year. Not quite ready for that, but we'll feel free to answer any questions or comments if you guys have it. Yes,
Matt,
sir.
can you tell us what the balance is of this delinquent account?
The delinquent accounts, yeah. Let me pull that up for you. Just give me a minute.
Well, Matt's bringing that up, just regarding that upcoming event that's coming up. We've got, the police department has what they call a gain event, where they come out to communities with all their specialty vehicles, motorcycles, etc. And it just so happens that it falls on the same date that we're having our movie night. So they will, I've got to go to a lottery drawing in September to determine which vehicles will be coming out. But we have DUI vehicles, we have motorcycles, we have hot rods, we have McGruff, the dog, the human being dog, and a bunch of other things. So this is a really important function for us because Janine and I have been talking about getting a neighborhood block watch going, and unfortunately we haven't gotten that much reaction from the community. So this is a good opportunity because the police department will set up a booth at the function, and they'll talk about neighborhood block watches, and they'll try to recruit some people for this. So this is something that we're all going to be looking forward to, and I know that Vision does a monthly email blast, and I'm going to ask them to put that in every email blast they can. We kind of would like to get a number of people that we're going to have so that we can make sure that we have appropriate number of hamburgers, hot dogs, popcorn, all that good fun stuff. So please talk to your neighbors about it, talk it up. There's going to be afraid of that. Find your place, Mike.
Yeah. So total for delinquency due right now, as of 4/30/2016, there's $213,216.71 delinquent. Now that
213, what?
213, 216.71. Now that includes delinquent, assessments,
I don't know, the long term.
Yeah.
I don't.
and violations. And
I'm just curious, how much it's come down.
Actually, once Paige is done over there, she'll give a little update of Mulcahy and how much they've collected and stuff to 2020. So.
Did you want to mention anything on the flag committee?
Good time to talk about that, Matt?
Yeah. So communication's gone out regarding the flag committee. We've got holidays coming up, Memorial Day being next week, Flag Day after that. So I know there's been some communication on Nextdoor and things like that of volunteers coming forward to help out, so we do appreciate that. Terry's the man of the flag committee, and we really appreciate everything he does. Unfortunately, 2 people can't handle it all together, so if we can get people to help out, that would be great. I'm around, I'll help as well. And we're looking for people, so contact us. You can get a hold of us, coopercommon@wearevision.com, and we need some help.
Ultimately, it's an 8-person job, we figured. And right now, we've got Terry and his wife, myself and my wife, that's 4. And I had one come forward as a result of Nextdoor with her daughter, 7-year-old daughter, so that's.
Keith usually helps, Keith Smith, and then my neighbor Tom usually helps, so.
And then-
we have
and then-
6, we'd like to have a couple more.
Yeah, and then Terry's gonna be gone for Flag Day on June the 14th, so that eliminates 2 people.
Yeah, and that's a tough one because it's a weekday, it's a Tuesday, so.
Yeah. So Terry's got the schedule of all the 6 holidays, and the dates and the times and everything. So if you're willing to help, we certainly would like to have you help. One of the other things that came up when I was talking to the police department was they had recommended we contact Boy Scouts. And I never even thought of that, but of course that's going to be money out of pocket to maybe 50, 75, or $100 every time you put the flags up. So I talked to them today, and they are willing to participate, but I didn't give them a lot of information because I really wanted to give the community a chance to vote first.
Announce that. I used to do it. I can't do it Monday.
It's early, Bob. It's 7.
What's that?
It's 7 in the morning.
He's out of the house.
Okay, we'll put them up at 5.
Another Memorial Day commitment.
Well, we appreciate it.
We try to put them up at 7 o'clock in the morning. In the winter, some of the holidays in the winter, we take them down to 5, but on these summer holidays, we take them down to 6. And it usually takes us about 30 minutes to an hour, depending on if we have any problems. But I've been trying to go around and clean up the ones, so hopefully we won't have a bunch of problems.
We used to do it years ago.
Yeah, I'd like to kind of recognize Terry because when we went through the Emmett Drive construction, we forgot to tell them what those things were in the ground for the flags, and unfortunately, a majority of them got ripped out.
Oh, no.
Terry went out, bought the equipment to do it, went out and performed the work, and all he did was hand me a receipt for $20 to get reimbursed. So thank you, Terry, for doing that.
I do want to say one thing. I always talk about, if we know any veterans want to come out. I am not a veteran. I've had, somebody say, oh, you're a veteran. They said, no, that's not why I do it. But I do appreciate veterans for their service.
Any other questions?
Is this your open forum?
Feel free.
So, I've raised questions for.
Can you
It
speak
seems
a
like,
little louder?
yeah. So, I've noticed there's an awful lot of parking on the street going on, and I've looked into it. This seems to have been an ongoing issue for the last several years, actually. And there's notices put out saying we're gonna get after this, do something about it. For the last, well, since the beginning of the year, my neighbors park in front of my house all the time. They're driving me up the wall. They're not easy to deal with, so I've given up on that. They don't want to communicate with me. So, the method of from the HOA is that the safety patrol at night is tasked with tagging these cars, logging them, and submitting it for letters of violation. But this isn't happening. I've watched my neighbors do it for the last 5 months.
Right.
And it's become so annoying to me. If I wanted to live in a neighborhood where parking on the street was okay, I would have bought a house there.
Correct.
I left a neighborhood like that because you can't get fire trucks or anything down the street. I mean, the streets will fill up, fill out. So I actually ran down several weekends ago. I think at the beginning of the month, I went out 2 o'clock in the morning, Saturday and Sunday night, to find the safety patrol because I haven't been seeing them anymore. I used to see them all the time.
Right.
Don't see them anymore. Didn't find them Saturday night. I did find them Sunday night, and then I talked to him, asked him several questions, and out of that, he's been told, there was some problems with the safety company itself. And they had also been told, he had told me that they'd been told, not to tag anything on the weekend from the HOA.
Interesting.
Which is, in my opinion, turned into never doing it. I looked into it further and I looked at the budget, and one of my questions is I noticed at the beginning of the year, this year's budget, there's been $10,000 cut from the safety patrol. The safety patrol used to patrol our neighborhood 7 hours a day. That's been cut to just 3 hours at random times. And now they're responsible for not just our neighborhood, but for a number of neighborhoods. But it's one of the things that made it hard for me to track them down and find them, to see what they were doing. So I talked to this fellow, one of the patrol guys.
Right.
That night, and asked him to start tagging cars, because I went through, and each night I counted over 60 cars parked on the street at night. So the next 2 nights, He did, he tagged the cars, and I drove around and looked, and then it stopped, and it hasn't happened again since.
Well, I
So-
appreciate the feedback, because actually at last month's board meeting, this was a concern that was brought up as well. And I spoke with Brian Baker, who's the president of Community Action Security Services, that's the company that we use, to tell him the concerns. They are out here 7 days a week, but you are correct, the hours have been reduced.
Drastically. It ha-
What's it take to get that back?
That would be
Because
a
clearly it's a-
conversation that the board would.
Right, 'cause I
would
mean,
have.
it's a problem, right? I mean, I brought it up last month.
Right.
Nothing's changed on my street, in Riviera. And obviously, he's bringing it up again, you know,
Right.
a month later, so it's not just me, you know? I mean, we don't see the guys at all.
And this is great feedback, because obviously the communication that I had with Brian did not get passed through. So this would be an action item for the next board meeting, and have the board talk about it. And if they would like me to go out and get some new bids and information from patrol companies, I'd be happy to do that.
Further, my question would be, they're a contractor for our association. You've been hired as the management company. What are your checks and balances for checking our auditors or vendors and whatnot? Do you have no idea? Who's checking them?
So the reports and stuff get sent to me, and I get them nightly, I do. So the checks and balances would be that, obviously, first, maybe I'm not doing an upstart job on my portion of that for that particular item. So I would need to reevaluate my situation on that and present that with the board and have a conversation with them and with the community.
Okay. 'Cause it would seem to me if you're supposed to be getting the reports nightly, doesn't it raise any eyebrows whatsoever that we're not sending out violation notices at all for parking on the street for 5 months? But you'll give me a notice for my trash can being out a couple hours overdue?
That is concerning, yes. I'm not saying.
What
I'm not
can we look forward to? Because I flat out have had it with these neighbors, you know, you can't deal with them. That's why I pay for an HOA. HOA is supposed to do something about it. And, you know, at the very least, I want to see the tags on those cars every morning. Because I would have bought the house. I seen cars parked out there all the time when I was looking to buy the house. Because I didn't want to be in it. I've been there, you know, it's terrible. And just driving around the couple nights that I did, counting over 60 cars a night. I've done safety control stuff in other districts before. I ran off one car that was parked on the street, but you can't tell what's what, or if it's a car that should or shouldn't be there, or somebody sitting there casing your house. Unless you drive by that thing a couple times and they ran off from me. It seems like we've cut the deterrent with the safety patrol drastically, and maybe they don't have enough time now to fulfill the requirements that we want, that we do protect cars and make a deterrent for people, you know, coming in the houses and stuff.
Absolutely, and I think this is great. It's great feedback for me. Obviously, I'm not doing as well as my job in that aspect as I should be, so that's something for me to improve on, and I appreciate your feedback on that. So what I can do is, again, I can go to Brian Baker and tell him, hey, I had another conversation with the homeowners at Cooper Commons, and we're still having issues. So maybe that, again, coming to him a second time, will pump that up, and then I'd be happy to go and solicit bids and interview different companies and things like that. I think that's going to be has to be a starting point to get the situation back up to where it needs to be. And it would be a conversation for the board moving forward to see that this is a valid concern for the association and think about upping the amount of budget for that or the amount of time that we do for patrol companies coming through.
Okay.
You know,
First
just-
and foremost, it would seem to me that we need to first answer the question, where did the ball drop? I don't go about releasing vendors or firing people until I identify where the ball got dropped.
I
So
will
is it
I will
them
take-
dropping it? Is it Vision dropping it?
I'll take the hit on
Or
that.
dropping it?
I'll take the hit on that. I'm all dropped on my end.
So instead of just flat out saying, you know, we're gonna look for bids for other companies, maybe we just cure the problem or make some positive steps in that direction to enforce the CCR.
Absolutely.
And have the security controls do what they're supposed to do. Direct instruction from the Board of Vision, as it should be. And then if they don't do it, then we look for somebody else.
That's a great suggestion.
You know,
I have no issues with that.
Yeah. I know you're talking to me about it, Steve, you're talking to Carol about it, and I know that I sent an email out to the entire board copying Matt with your concerns. He was very reactive because I see the violation letters now, and I see them all along. I'm the treasurer, so we have started to send out more violation letters, but the two things you need to understand on the control side, or the theft side, or the neighborhood watch side, we don't have any crime in Cooper Commons. The police department was here a couple months ago, and we had 3 total crimes in Cooper Commons. They were all against vehicles. There was no burglary or police. So, but yet they should still be doing their job. They should be a deterrent. On the other side of the coin, and I don't know if you and I talked about this, but there is no parking patrol on Friday, Saturday, and Sundays. Now, I don't know if
But
that
that's
means.
not spelled out in CCR.
I believe it is.
I would argue that point.
I don't know that it is or isn't, but it is in our contract with the patrol company. And so basically Thursday at midnight till Sunday at midnight is free parking. So,
Okay, well, I don't see that in the CCR, so maybe that ought to be reviewed. I could be wrong, but I've read it.
and I don't
That's
know.
not in there.
I know that it's in our contract with the.
It may be in
with the,
contract with your vendor, but that's not our CCR.
That contract was approved by, I guess it was approved by this board, wasn't it? It was board.
It was.
Yeah, it was approved by this board.
But wasn't the contractor, weren't they, I mean, I thought they were doing a great job a year ago, right? So isn't the bottom line the cut? I mean, no matter how many contractors you have, I mean, you only got 3 hours a night. I mean, isn't that the bottom line is the time's been cut, it was cut maybe too much? So that's my question, right, is like how does that get back to the board? You know, I mean, how do you vote on that to bring that back where it should have been, where it was effective? You know, as a deterrent. I don't necessarily care, you know, I don't like parking on the street either, but from a security standpoint, right, just the deterrent, having somebody by, I mean, it makes people feel safe, and, you know, it keeps things, you know, people abiding to the, you know, to our, you know, community laws, or, you know.
And this is the perfect forum for that, to get that feedback. And so moving forward, like I said, it can be an agenda item for further discussions and things like that. So, again, thank you.
So then, pretty soon, within a very reasonable amount of time, I'll start seeing the tags on the vehicles again.
That is correct.
Not on the weekend.
You should have already, based on the
Happened
violation.
for the
letters
2
that I've seen.
days after I ran down the safety patrol myself.
Do you remember the gentleman you spoke to?
I've got his name written down now.
Okay.
He's the same young man that I've seen patrolling the neighborhood for years.
Okay.
With the same color.
Just for documentation, pictures and things like that. So, I can give you a card and we can coordinate
Yeah.
for that.
Another question.
Yes.
This is about the quarterly communications that are sent out.
The statements, quarterly statements?
No, not statements, communication from the Cooper Commons board.
Okay.
Sometimes with tips, you know, for homeowners on certain things. Are they quarterly?
They do go on the back of the quarterly statements, yes.
Well, I was wondering, and I'm an original owner, you know, the CCNRs are thick, but not necessarily helpful if a homeowner wants to make a change. For example, on adding some kind of covering over a patio to your home, there's a few statements about what's appropriate or legal, and whether it says it should match the existing roof. It doesn't explain if it doesn't touch or attach to the house, you know, how different can it be? Is there at least one person, I don't know if it's the architectural committee, that we can talk or ask specifically to those things like roof structures, things that are higher than sheds and things that would be within the confines of the walls, so that we know, I'm assuming we still have to get approval
Yes, you
from
guys.
the committee but we don't even know what to dare to propose from, you know, what's specifically explained in the CCNRs, which, even though they've been amended, they're pretty old, or archaic, or legal.
Cooper Commons does also have design review guidelines, and those are listed on both the Cooper Commons website and Vision Community Management's website.
Design review guidelines.
Yeah, and those go in there and they give you some more information in regards
Okay.
to ramadas, gazebos, and attached patios and things
Okay.
like that.
Matt, so I'm on the design committee. You can also go to the website and see when the meetings are and come to the meetings, and you could talk to us on the design committee if you need clarification.
If we make the meeting, like I came straight from work.
Yeah. So, but there is that whole design guidelines.
Even if you could mention that in a newsletter for other
Absolutely.
people, you know, so that it's kind of put back up into the brain of a level where anybody wants to know about it or care about it, can at least try to follow the guidelines.
Absolutely.
These meetings need to be posted and they're open to the association.
Oh, yeah, I
Right, you
know
might
that.
need to request an agenda item so we can follow the statute.
Yeah, but again, it isn't that you want your own issue, you know, handled at a meeting, but it's nice to know if anything's been modified, or no, it doesn't have to be a tile addition, and especially if it doesn't attach strictly to the house. Those are nuances to what maybe you want to do. You've already gotten some bids or investigated, you think you know what you want, but you don't know if it's going to be bounced out or through. That's,
Right.
it's
Right,
helpful.
right, and I think that no one ever comes to the meeting. So if you're concerned about any particular issue being
No, sure.
around the community, it's not going to be.
It's better to have a
But
contact.
I think that,
Or-
I would also imagine that, one of us on the design committee, he could probably, they'd probably reach out to you if you wanted to, so you get a hold of the vision, and they could get in touch with one of the design committee and have that conversation.
Yeah, well, I did live through a landscaping approval thing, but, you know, again, you start thinking about something else, whether it's house, HOA, approved colors, and interaction.
You don't want to do some structural changes and
Yeah.
find out.
No, exactly,
approve.
you really don't. I mean,
So it's going to have dialogue before you put your application.
oh, yeah,
and see what you
that would only be logical, I would hope, for any adult homeowner in this
I'm
community.
sure that.
One would hope.
that-
You'd be surprised.
I'm sure that someone on the design committee would be happy to talk to you.
It's just for, again, this is a small group, it's not like we heard it, but it's good if it goes in the.
But you can find those design, they're a separate document and they're invoiced.
And again, somebody should know that, because otherwise, they don't know it, please. You know?
The newsletter that comes out, have a short little story.
Well, that's what I was recommending, but I can't dictate.
We can do e-blasts and stuff too.
Yeah.
There you go.
Just a reminder.
Different avenues.
Yeah, you know,
Before you do.
especially because summer's coming up, some people might want to put up more shade, and,
Sounds like you're going down that route.
I just did the landscaping on the truck.
One thing at a time.
Okay. Any other questions or comments?
Can I just ask a question on the shade you were just talking about? Are temporary shades, structures available, or can we do that without HOA approval? Like those shade sales you can buy at Costco, you still have to.
It can be seen from the street in your backyard.
But if it's in the backyard and you can't see it from the street.
Then you're okay.
Okay.
Except, wait a minute, except it does have to be built a certain distance from the wall.
Well, because I've seen them where they're attached to the wall.
Yeah, that, you'd have to have that architecture. Check out the guidelines.
All right, well, we do have the results from the tally here, so I'll go ahead and announce the winners. So with 154 votes, we have David Grimes, and with 139 votes, we have Lisa Walker. All right.
They're good for Ray.
Do we have any?
You're on the flag committee.
There you go.
All right.
Oh, and we have some raffles. Everybody should have got a raffle ticket.
Is Nancy Walker here?
Lisa Walker.
Lisa Walker, oh, you won that too?
We didn't know who you were.
No, I didn't win the raffle. What is the raffle?
No. No.
I thought I heard my name and I just like right away.
Eat two. I'm sorry. I'll tell you what. What is this?
Trying to take it, Dave, come on.
She said, don't do it.
Are these three separate things?
Yeah, you only get one.
Oh, you only get one? Here, give this to my wife.
403692.
Would you like Starbucks or Starbucks?
You know what, I think that goes up.
Yes, sir.
403685.
And she will take the stuff. She owns stuff.
Okay, so this is Paige with Mulcahy, so we'll have her just address you guys really quick and give you an update of what the law service has done for you guys over the course of 2015.
Sounds great. Thanks for having me. I'm Paige with Mulcahy Law Firm. I'm an associate attorney there. Matthew asked me to briefly talk about the collections for the association within the past year. So we did some calculations dating back to January of 2015. So from January 2015 through April 2016, we've collected $71,358.16 in collections for the association. So that's, really great for the association. It varied really month to month. There weren't any months that stood out. We had the highest collection amount in April of last year. So just wanted to give a brief update on that. Also, I wanted to talk about the legislature just closed on May 7th. Some of you may know that. There were a number of bills that our firm was watching. 7 passed that affect homeowners associations that we were watching. If you want to check out our website, we have the most recent update, and it ranges from drones to short-term rentals to violations of the CC&Rs that all affect homeowners associations. So we have this brief summary on our website that really goes over in detail, but in easy terms, how it will affect homeowners associations. If you have any questions and want to talk about them afterward, feel free to come talk to me. I won't keep anyone here any later than you need to be, but there are some interesting updates for associations. So thanks again, and congratulations to the new board members. Sure.
How would you go about, as a normal citizen, as an HOA, go about fighting against the rule that your identity has to be given out? If you file a complaint, your identity cannot be, what's the word, anonymous.
So unfortunately, if the association wants to pursue the claim, or if, for instance, the association is countersued regarding that claim, your name cannot remain anonymous. It is tough because, as you know, the managers aren't always on property, so certain complaints are maybe after hours or when the management company isn't here. The management company, they all do their best to make sure that they can go see the violations as well, but that just isn't always possible. So for some complaints, it is necessary to have the homeowner's name. Arizona law dictates when the association sends out a violation letter, they have to list the date and time and who saw the violation. So sometimes it can be the management company, but unfortunately sometimes you can't remain
So there's no
anonymous.
way to fight that law for safety purposes, because I can make an anonymous complaint to the police department, and they're fine with that, but I can't do it for I can't do it for my HOA. So it's kind of a double standard. So I'm just wondering if there's any, legal way that a normal citizen can go about fighting that. I don't want to go into the whole how it becomes a law thing, but
you're worried for your safety or anything, that's a whole different issue. But yeah, if it's something sensitive like that, make sure you're talking to the board or through the attorney, and we can handle it then. But, you know, if they are pursuing the violation, unfortunately, that's.
I was just wondering, from a legal perspective.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Call Larry.
I have a question for, I was trying to do some math in my head, but, okay, we had 336 ballots, right? And you can vote for 2 people on a ballot, correct? And the total for the 2 people that were elected was 154 and 139, is that correct? So that comes to 295, and if you take 293, something like that, I think. Okay, so if you take 2 times the 336 ballots, and each of them had 2, am I going down the wrong road here?
No, I mean, we had other,
Okay.
we had other votes that were elected for other candidates as well.
Yeah, 3 other candidates, right?
And then a couple of write-ins.
And a couple of write-ins? Okay, because I'm coming up with 377 votes out there that were split amongst the other people, right? Is that correct?
So some people only
people
vote
voted
for
for one.
one candidate. Some people don't vote for any, they just vote for quorum.
And send the ballot in?
Yes. Yeah, they only count for quorum, and then none of the ones for Jonathan Russell, they were all void because he's no longer a homeowner.
Is there any danger of a challenge from somebody that says that those votes were, I don't know, they should have been voted for, I guess? Is there any danger from somebody that wasn't elected that said those could have been my votes? Is there a?
Well, the management company did send out a
I
mass
understand
email
that,
notice.
but when I went online Monday, if you just looked at the paper, his name was still on there. So if you didn't read what was there, I'm just asking a question. Is there a danger that somebody will challenge the election?
I mean, potentially, someone can always challenge the
Well, I'm not. I didn't run. I just start doing the numbers in my head, and I really take offense to somebody that would siphon off votes. That's just how I feel.
Terry, I believe those numbers are public, that if anybody, a homeowner or a board member wants to view them, especially the electronic part, because it was done electronically.
I'm not questioning the counting of anything, because I never thought about somebody sending one in and not voting. I send it in. But-
Well, we have to meet quorum, and the association has struggled in the past to meet quorum, so some people just write in quorum only, just for the benefit of this meeting, so that the vote can go through.
Okay, thank you.
And Dave's right, they're all, open record law. If a homeowner wants to see the ballots, that's possible. You just have to talk with the
We
board.
had 2 registered counters. I don't have a problem with that.
All right, guys, well, next board meeting is on June 22nd at 6:30. So,
I want to make a motion that we call Larry. Otherwise, I'm going to, possibly I won't show up at the next board meeting, we won't have a quorum, so you're going to have to be able to vote this month or next month. Is that the rule? Well, you can have a quorum, but you can't vote without me.
No,
So,
I'm all good for next month. Larry wouldn't be a problem.
But we're going to get Larry on the phone. Let Larry vote tonight.
Who else is?
Lisa? You've got a problem with that? Okay, let's get Larry on the phone.
all right, well, we'll
Is that
go
the
ahead and
problem?
adjourn the annual meeting portion, and we'll get the organizational coming up.
You want to call him?
You guys might want to sit closer so
Actually, I'll call my speaker.
You don't like flip phone?
Lisa and I we're saying June,
Oh.
just to make it easier and we can talk
Well,
and think about it a little bit.
Then I probably won't be here. Then you can't do it. Because if we can't do it when Larry's not here, we can't do it when I'm not here.
Well, we got
I'm all, you guys have something in mind? You want to be the president? You're the president. You want to be the president? You're the president. You want to be the president? I don't care. I want to get it over with tonight.
No, we need to
There's
talk
no
about
reason
it.
to not get it over with tonight. There's nothing to talk about. The voting is over. the nominations are in, you've won the vote, now it's time to accept your positions. So let's get Larry on the phone, it'll take 2 minutes to accept the position.
Well, we need a quorum to decide what to do, so if two don't want to call Larry and two do.
This is what you did with the board 2 years ago, Mr.
Guys,
Grimes. You know,
guys.
this is what, how you, the whole board got screwed up.
Hey, stop, please.
Are you
Stop.
I won't be here next month, and I'm voting to not have a vote next month, because I won't be here.
Congratulations, Jim.
If they can make a decision, I can make a
This is
decision.
a mess.
If the attorney's here, let's ask her what the legal. Great, sir.
Because it has to be quorum, so if the remaining want to vote next time,
Larry Coleman,
they will vote. Essentially, it needs to be this meeting, so congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
really too bad.
I agree. Good luck, guys. I hope you keep this treasure. Now we have quorum. We have 3. Quorum. What do you want to be? How many was this?
Position-wise, what are the choices?
President, vice president, treasurer, and secretary.
You're the president, right?
I'd like to be,
Papers on